Hi, I'm Kenny.
And I'm Samantha.
And this is Jax. We recently sold our house in the suburbs and moved to this 288 square foot tiny house on 5 acres.
We'll be living in and renovating this tiny house before we build our small house on the back of the property.
This first acre contains the tiny house, 2 sheds, one of which we converted into a kitchen.
Today we're going to show you around the property and take you inside our tiny house.
Let's go check it out. So here we have the tiny house, the shed that we converted into our kitchen, and a storage shed. So here we have what has to be our biggest selling point on the property. Once we saw this, it was a done deal. Tetherball. Oh yeah, the champion.
He uses my height against me.
Champ.
I'm only 5'2", you know what I mean?
Alright, so we're at the back of the front acre, which is fenced. This is the entrance into the back 4 acres where we plan to build the house in the future. Jack's left it. So here we are in the first clearing. The plan for the future is we'll do a greenhouse, garden, eventually a solar array,
Some bees.
beehive. That's a plan for the future, is to do some beekeeping.
So we're definitely going to have to invest in a riding lawnmower.
Soon to come.
Pretty good.
Yep. This little wooded area, we have a bit of underbrush, but we're planning on cleaning some of it up, just having a little foresty area in between as a buffer to back where the house will go. So here we are to the clearing I was talking about before. This would be the future home site. We're going to come back here after we can mow, once we get a rider, and lay out where the house will go so we can get a better idea of size and orientation and everything. Property goes further back that way. So we'll walk back there and we'll show you what all we got going back there.
So this is the path that leads to the back of the property, and as you can see we have a lot of different trees that provide a lot of shade. Oak trees and magnolia trees, which we really like, gives it a nice view. In the back of the property we think that we're going to keep it the same. There's a lot of neat paths that go back there that was created from the previous owners, and we will go check it out.
We were surprised to find that there's irrigation run throughout the property. What we understood, the previous owner was actually a landscaper and had a bit of a nursery going on that he would use with his business. So we were surprised to find spigots all over the property, and they all work, all powered from the well that we have all the way up at the front of the property. So here's one of the trails that Samantha mentioned before. It kind of goes back, loops around, and comes back out at the very back of the property. Here we're at the very back of the property, the area where that trail comes in, and probably the area that we'll keep the same. As you can see, we have a lot of really cool oak trees, a lot of shade and cover. We got to really kind of get back into these woods and see. This area is going to take some cleaning up, but it should be really neat. There's probably 40 palm trees that are planted here. Again, probably the person who previously owned the property that was a landscaper planted all of these because they're all in rows. But once we clean up all of the underbrush, get all these pine needles and everything out of here, it should be a really neat little area.
Now we're going to check out the inside of the tiny house and our kitchen. This is our current living situation. This is our bedroom / living area. So we have the bed here and then the living room area here. Once you come in, it kind of hides the bed, and we put the couch out just a little bit kind of give it a little bit more of a living room feel. And we have this neat little pop-out storage coffee table. It has a little bit of storage in there. This is the bathroom. It also will need to be redone. We have our clothes hanging here, the ones that we utilize the most. Other necessities down there, and Jax's toys, of course. And then we'll end up getting a smaller sink to kind of give us a little bit more room in there. This is our kitchen. We've already started doing a little bit of stuff like spackling the holes and replacing the curtains with blinds. We also replaced the refrigerator. So that's all new, and we plan on pretty much doing everything in here. We also bought a ice machine because the refrigerator doesn't have ice. This is like an apartment size refrigerator, but it works great for us.
So there wasn't room inside of the tiny house for an oven or cooking appliances. So luckily we had two separate sheds, and we've turned one of them into a kitchen. So we're gonna go show that to you now. So this is the inside of the shed that we turned into a kitchen. Right now we're just using these two burners, a convection oven and a microwave. We do have an oven, but we have to add a dedicated outlet and breaker. So we're working on getting that all situated. We do also have our washer and dryer in here, but like I said, we're gonna add a dedicated outlet for the oven with its own breaker.
So on the opposite side of the kitchen, we have our washer, our large sink that Kenny just put in, which makes my life a lot easier. We have the refrigerator from the one inside the tiny house that we replaced, and a deep freezer. So plenty of room for all of our necessities. Thank you for coming along on the tour of our property and our tiny house. We hope to see you in our next video.